Not the outro, the other one. Do I get a coffee? Hello. Yeah, anytime you like. Be good. Thank you, Ruby. Very good. Got any letters? Hello, folks. We've got the show happening fairly shortly. Thank you, Ash. The letters tonight are these. We're almost ready. We've got a beautiful panel tonight. And the guests aren't bad either. All very good guests. First tonight, I heard nothing but the most foul expletives pouring out of this young girl's mouth as I hopped back into the car. Well, heavens knows what you did to her. Second letter tonight. In fact, I could see right through her clothes. It's not a continuation of the first. And everything was on show. My wife just whispered to me not to ogle her. Why wouldn't you? That's what she wants you to do. That's why she's showing you. Last letter tonight. Is this the state of play now? Is this the only way men and women can meet each other? Is everything, even relationships, to be controlled by this new domain? Which domain do you think that might be? You don't have to be too bright to guess. All these letters and more with beautiful panellists coming up fairly shortly. Don't go away. See you soon. Coffee time. Got a problem, big or small? Would a miracle be nice? Our motley crew is back, churning out advice. You might even laugh a bit in the following half hour. Park your backside on the couch, 'cause baby, it's time for Sweet and Sour. Right here on Sweet and Sour.
Have some sugar in there, baby.
It's time for Sweet and Sour. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Sweet and Sour. Lovely to have your company. Gary Mitchell with you for the next half hour and a beautiful lot of panellists tonight. Karalee's back with us for another week. Hello.
Hello, Gary. Thank you for having me back.
How resplendent are you looking?
Very bright.
Very bright, very summery on a otherwise not so summery day. Terrific.
Thank you.
Did your husband see last week's episode?
He did. Did
he make any remarks?
He's tried to spice up our life a bit. Didn't quite realise our suburban life was as I described it, but hey.
Oh, that's what made it spicy. Very good. Good to have you back.
Thank you.
What did your hubby say, Mum?
He said I was excellent. Yeah. He thought...
What did he want?
Yeah, exactly. I'm still trying to find out. But he was like, wow, you're really good at this. I was like, thanks. I've got a lot of opinions.
Where did you meet your hubby?
Playing touch rugby.
You were playing?
We both were. We're playing against each other.
What? Is there a mixed competition?
Are you kidding?
Yes.
You're living in the dark angel.
Touch rugby. So it's not, you don't have to gridiron up or anything
no,
like that.
You don't tackle.
It's touch.
I used to play it at home.
It's a great place to meet
You played
people.
touch rugby as well?
It's part of the curriculum at Newman College.
And now you dance?
Yeah.
So, what was more fun, dancing or touch rugby?
The touch rugby, I think.
Oh, you like the touching. Suzie, what did you play when you were growing up?
Oh, lots of things.
Besides
but it wasn't touch rugby. I don't even think it was invented when I was at school, Gary. I don't think it was invented. So, it's a new thing. It's one of those new sports.
Terrific. Have you had a look at the letters tonight?
Yes, I have.
And?
Well, they're interesting.
Okay, we'll see if the viewers think so. Here we go.
I think they're interesting.
First one tonight from Denise in Yokine, Western Australia, just down the road. Hi, panellists. I'm really pretty furious. I went to a service station today and it was packed. I drove in behind another driver that for some reason didn't take her car past the first Bowser, even though the second was free, and it meant I couldn't put in petrol until she'd finished filling, paying, and had moved on. I didn't say anything because I thought better of it. But when she pulled out her mobile and started talking on it at the same time as filling her tank, I saw red. I got out of the car and blasted her for being totally self-absorbed, inconsiderate, and a dangerous idiot ignoring all the warning signs. She gave me the bird. I was so incensed, but I had the good sense to quickly take her photo and that of her rego plate and smugly smile at her. I heard nothing but the most foul expletives pouring out of this young girl's mouth as I hopped back into my car. She looked to be about 24. I might also add that the service station attendant thanked me for my concern. Will this stupid driver be the sort of character that will be in control of our government soon? I can't understand how totally irresponsible the younger generation has become. Who's to blame for the appalling lack of manners or consideration by our young people? As a student of history, I'm well aware of what happens to a society when its population has become too indulgent and ceases to be mindful of others. Are we headed for a train wreck? What will, if anything, turn the attitudes of our kids back to being responsible and helpful? How long do we have before this rot is universal? Denise of Yokine, as I said, Karalee, all this because she was parked behind some bird who was not overly considerate of other people.
Gary and Denise, I identify with you. I just think that in the last 20 years, people have not told people how to do certain things, such as, when you pull up at a petrol station, go forward
Go
one.
forward.
Also, the thing is, when I was growing up, whether you got half price on public transport or whatever, you stood up for an older person or a pregnant lady, no matter what, or someone, it didn't matter whether you got
Does that
half
happen
price.
now?
No, it doesn't, and I think it's annoying, and I think what it comes down to is, and I know that a lot of people don't have a good family role model or whatever, maybe it should be at the schools. There are some basic things that people aren't being taught, and unfortunately I think we will become a very bad generation, society.
Mon?
My view is, Gary, that I think Denise is a little bit excessive. I think she has a reason to be upset, but I think that the way that you deal with these matters really results in the outcome. And because she explained in her letter that she saw red, explained the outcome of getting yelled at by the other person. Yes, swearing at people isn't the best way to do it, and she's obviously reached her at the child ego state. But take the higher ground, Denise. Take the time.
And she didn't do that. That's
She
right.
didn't do that.
I
So
got out
just-
of my car and blasted her.
Yeah, take the time.
Diplomacy at its best.
Take the time just to educate and go, do you realise what the result can be of using a mobile phone at a petrol station? She probably hasn't had that lesson, as Karalee's mentioned. She hasn't had that education. Perhaps she needed it, and Denise could have been that person. So I feel she has a point, but she could have dealt with it better.
Are you concerned for our future generations, because they'll be assuming government soon and they'll be taking these attitudes with
I'm
them?
concerned with our current government, let alone what's going to be there in 20 years' time.
Anita, do you pull up into petrol stations and not go to the one that's empty and
Well,
just...
see, I drive a diesel, and there's only 1 or 2 diesel tanks. So I am one of those people, but I get out and I actually say to the person, if I can't move forward and it is free
Excuse
as
me,
petrol,
can you-
excuse me, I do have a diesel, so I actually have to fill up at this tank, but you're welcome to go around. I am courteous like that.
Very nice. Nice to hear.
So this 24, this young girl here, I don't know, maybe she's the future, what's scary, she's the future Jackie Lavey, I don't know.
Oh, boo.
Which is a little bit of a worry, but no, it's just, I hate people that do that.
Suzie?
I don't think it's about the young generation. I think we've got amazing role models coming through the younger generation. They are philanthropic and they're caring. I think what this is saying, this is actually a blight on our generation, Denise, because we're not teaching our children. I'm going through the process of teaching my 3 children how to drive. I've got 2 down, 1 to go. It's an interesting experience. And one of the things is I take the car in, fill up the petrol tank, go to the front. I say to them, stay on the left, don't go in the middle lane, particularly when you're learning to drive or you're a P-plater. I think as a 24-year-old, no one's told her. Okay, there's a sign that says don't use their mobile phone. They're getting told that by their parents all the time. I mean, no one's actually said, do you realise that this could ignite? Yeah. No one's told us, so maybe you have to look at yourself. I think this is a complete overreaction. I think you're a bit of a psycho, Denise, and really you need to take an anger management pill.
Yeah, second that.
I'm pretty encouraged with a lot of the kids lately.
I think they're amazing. They're caring
The only issue I see is they're maturing later.
It doesn't apply to them, though. All the rules of society, that it never seems to apply to them.
I don't
True,
agree.
but they're understanding that a little later. The only thing I see is that they're taking responsibility a little later, and their attitudes for society.
But that's because we are mollycoddling them and doing helicopter parenting as parents. I think that we are protecting them and we're not making them resilient enough.
And Denise, I don't think you should have got out of the car and blasted her. Go up and tell her what you thought.
Explain it.
Explain it.
Teach her. She hasn't had a good parent.
When we come back, a father writes in and asks if he should be explaining things as he sees it to his son. He doesn't like the bird he's going out with. Shouldn't use bird, should I?
That just shows how old you are.
Writing in and anyway, when we come back, we're talking about Sheila's birds and don't go away. More of Sweet and Sour and chicks. I like chicks. What's wrong with chicks?
Chick.
And organs, and all the organs. Welcome back to Sweet and Sour. We're just having a chat about sausages of a food variety. Thank you very much. If you'd like to send us a letter to Sweet and Sour, send it to the address that's appearing, or it should be, on your screen right now, which is sweetandsour.net.au. And there's our website as well, which is sweetandsour.net.au. And you can Facebook like us as well and tweet us as well. I don't know whether I got that address in the beginning right. Did I? Letters at sweetandsour.net.au. There you go. Second time up. Look the other way, this one's entitled, and it comes to us from Martin of Prospect, South Australia. Dear Mitch and panel, He'd just met this glamour puss and he brought her home to our place for a feed. She wasn't wearing much. In fact, I could see right through her clothes and everything was on show. My wife just whispered to me not to ogle. My son's 36 and it was nice of him to pop in, have dinner with us and introduce us to this new woman with whom he clearly was head over heels. At 29, I would have thought, however, that she could use with some dexterity a knife and fork, but she couldn't. Again, my wife just whispered to me not to stare and to look beyond. My wife's a good woman. Anyway, my son, who works on the mines in Queensland, decided to shift over there and take his cutlery-challenged bombshell with him. All was fine until we decided to visit him in Queensland. Apart from finding their house in a filthy state, even though this woman doesn't work, I was utterly appalled to find that my son comes home from a 12-hour shift and does all the cooking and all the cleaning. I couldn't figure out what she did all day, but again, my good-hearted wife whispered to me to look the other way. Well, on the day before we left, and while our son was at work, we found out how this lady of the see-through clothes fills her day. She has male visitors. One was leaving as we were just driving in, and though my wife was in shock, once again she whispered to me to give this tramp the benefit of the doubt and not breathe a word. We're back home in Adelaide, and the more I think of it, the more I find I need to call my son and tell him to get rid of this blood-sucking she-devil before she gives him a sexually transmitted disease, or possibly worse, she gets pregnant, milks him for everything, and also gives him a sexually transmitted disease. Is there any chance I'm right here? Is it my responsibility to speak to my son? I know at 36 it's his life, but my wife says everything unfolds as it should and our kids are able to sort out their own issues, and the last thing we want is to chase them away with our overbearing concerns. Should I make that call? As I said, Martin of Prospect in South Australia. Suzie, should he pick up the phone?
Well, look, I'm just so shocked, Gary. I'm so shocked. There was a woman at home and she had a male visitor. Oh my God, she must be a prostitute. She must be having sex with him. Jesus Christ, I'm having a lot of sex then. You know, I have male friends, I have male clients, they come to my office. Oh my God, which when it's at home. I mean, seriously, I think you are a real dick, Martin, and I haven't said that for a while. I have to say, your bombshell, I haven't said dick for a while on this TV program. Okay. I just think it is the most ridiculous letter. I think, Martin, you are over the top, you're too involved, and maybe you're so contradictory. Bombshell. No, he said bombshell.
Use a knife and fork.
Hold on. Well, you know what? Have you eaten with Americans? Have you eaten with Americans? I question. I rest my case. The next thing is, she's a bombshell and she doesn't wear clothes. What was he looking? How would he know? And then she said the house was in a filthy state, but then says my son has to do all the cleaning. Well, he's obviously pretty crap.
After a 12-hour shift.
For God's sake, he's obviously pretty crap at the cleaning.
I'd be making the call.
Oh my
Anita, would you be making the call?
Well, she sounds lovely.
Not to me.
No, she doesn't. But I think stay out of it. Look, he's 36. It's not like he's 16 years old and, you know, he's an adult and who knows, he could be, that's maybe what he likes.
What's wrong with opening your mouth and giving her the benefit of the doubt and say, oh, we almost met a mate of hers coming through the other day when we were there?
Why?
Because it's normal. You have those conversations though. Hello, son. Oh, yes, we met Suzie, and we met her friend, but we were, on our way out, so we couldn't stop and chat. So apologise to him if he thought we were rude.
And he says, well, oh my God, you've interrupted the fact that I'm actually pimping her out. It's, who knows?
Oh well,
who knows?
At least the man will know.
But no, it's not his place to say anything.
No, but it's not. But then doing it that way, he won't be doing anything. He'll just be having a normal conversation.
I think you think that because you're Greek. Baby?
You can explain that one to me later.
Just the fact of just getting involved. I just think, would you want your father ringing you when you were 36?
My dad used to say anything he liked to me.
Yeah, so does mine. Resting that.
He used to tell me who he liked and who he didn't like, but it wouldn't make a difference. But actually, my dad was good. He liked all of them.
No.
All of them?
Yeah. He used to say to my friends, can you find somebody to marry that arsehole? He was talking about me. Excuse me. Mom?
behind every good man, there's a better woman. And I think Martin is particularly fortunate to have such a sensible wife because she really seems to be the voice of reason in this whole letter. That's all what I hear, is that she's really telling you, Martin, to let your son live his life. And I think you should really take a note out of her book and just let him be. You're too much.
Are you going to feel guilty if something cocks up a bit later and you could have saved him a whole heap of money?
He's going to cock up.
He's a big
we
boy.
all do, but we need to make our own mistakes and let your son make his mistakes.
If the father gets involved now, the son will hate him. He's
he
better
doesn't
to be
have to actually
supportive.
get
resent
involved.
him, and then if something falls out, then he'll be like, oh, well, you know, you wanted that to happen. No, let him be. Let it just develop and
Take
see what
its
it turns
natural
into.
course.
Exactly.
You know, my parents always said to me, you know, love, sorry to nag, but you're always going to be our kid no matter how old you get. And we're going to parent our kids. If we see something, we're going to tell you. You know, you never stop being their kid, and you never not concerned for them.
I agree. And Martin doesn't need to not be concerned, but he needs to be careful with the way that he does
But at
it.
least he can speak to his son if he's got something on his mind, surely.
He certainly can. And I think
Okay.
Karalee wants to tell us what he's going to say.
Gary, I'm with you, and you know what, Martin, you've written this. You want us to make the call, and we're not going to.
Yeah,
but you've got
that's
to make
right.
the call. And seriously, I don't think you can meddle too much in your kids' lives, and I think it will save them a whole heap of time and aggro later on.
And money.
And money, and money.
And money.
And the thing is, seriously, what 36-year-old man is like a 36-year-old man? They're all like 16-year-olds. They all need help for the rest of their life.
They all need help. Is it safe to meet people on the internet? Maybe we should tell Martin to tell his son that there's plenty on the internet, because our next letter
Yes.
talks about whether it's safe to meet people on the internet. What are the risks? Don't go away. The internet coming up. Who's dated on the internet?
I don't know if you know who I am, but I'm kind of a big deal.
December. You're a Sagittarian too.
24th
Oh,
of
we've
December.
got a lot
He's
in
a
common.
Capricorn. There
Here
you
we
go.
go. Hi panellists. I'm not good at meeting people because I'm probably a little insular. I like my own company. Since my ex-husband and I broke up. I like my own company since my ex-husband and I broke up. I've not been out with any man. Initially, a few men at work asked me out, but I wasn't in any positive frame of mind to be fair to any of them or myself. Since then, no one has come near me. I have a few girlfriends who keep suggesting that there are so many online dating sites now that I'm being silly for not having tried one adequately. I say adequately because I ventured into one site more than a year ago and I was so grossed out by the number of men just wanting sex that I deleted my membership and haven't ventured back. My friends have told me that not all these sites are the same and to try again. Is this the state of play now? Is this the only way now men and women can meet each other? Is everything, even relationships, to be controlled by this new domain of the web? As you could possibly tell, I have enormous concerns about my privacy, and I know the moment I place my photo with one of these sites, it will go everywhere. Am I being too sensitive about it? Have any of the panellists had experience with dating sites? Should I remain cautious? I would be very much like to meet someone, as I'll be 35 soon. Nikki of Liverpool in New South Wales. Anita, have you been online?
No, I haven't.
Have you had a look online?
No.
Would you be against trying online?
Well, I'm not interested now. Don't you? Yeah, it depends on, I suppose, your lifestyle. She says she's quite a reserved person. I mean, I go out a lot. I've got different social groups, so you're always meeting people.
You don't need to go on the net to meet blokes. Is that what you're telling us?
No.
Yeah. Okay.
So I haven't.
You don't have this problem.
Tried, and I honestly haven't.
Actually,
been
none of you
in situation.
have anything to say to
So,
Nikki.
but I have heard some great success stories of people that
nice
have
dude.
met their future partners online, and it's worked out great. You know, I'm not very I'm rarely on the computer sitting there.
Good for you. Nothing wrong with
it's hard
that.
enough to even
Suzie?
get to Facebook time.
I feel a bit sorry for Nikki. I just have a couple of suggestions for Nikki, and the first thing is to go out, get your hair coloured, change your hair look,
Move
have
out
a
of your comfort
facial,
zone.
go and get someone to teach you how to put makeup on. You know, go to one of the stores that will do it for you. Go and buy a pretty cool dress. That's the first thing, to make you feel better about yourself, because if you feel better about yourself, people will approach you. The second thing is, I don't think you can I know a lot of friends who've been on the internet, and I have looked when I was with friends. I didn't meet anyone, and I haven't been on a date. But I really believe that what you need to do is take up a hobby, go and play tennis, or join a philanthropic group, a dance group, because if you're doing something that you enjoy that's going to help you, then you will actually meet people that way. That's the best. I always think meeting through friends, but if you don't have friends with single mates, and I have a lot of single friends that are girlfriends, I honestly think go out and find a hobby and do something with the community. And I have a girlfriend who did it kayaking. She went kayaking out of Desperate, and she met her husband.
Karalee, any concerns with privacy?
A little, but I mean, I think Suzie has just hit the nail on the head. You've got to get out there. You're not going to meet anybody sitting at home tapping on a computer. But I am concerned with Nikki. She ends it by saying, I will be 35 soon.
So what?
So what, Nikki? Don't worry about it. Don't lump yourself. Age is just a number. And seriously, if you are worried about being 35 and single, any bloke that you go out with is going to smell that desperation from a mile off. So don't worry about it. Honestly, just go out and love life and do exactly what Suzie says.
Last word, Mon. Have you ever tried any of these sites?
No, but I know two people that I'm very close with that have had incredible success. So they had a relationship that fell apart, and they were sort of at an end with themselves and didn't feel like they wanted to go out and connect straight away with people, and they ended up doing online dating and married the person who they met. So had incredible success. And I also know a friend
It can happen.
Yeah, it absolutely can happen. But I appreciate what the ladies are saying about getting yourself out there. But I would say probably your first step before you do that is read a few books on personal development or listen to some positive audios and boost yourself up.
Make sure you're not boring.
You laugh, but you've got to build yourself first. You've got to be something that you love
Work
first.
on yourself.
That's the thing of changing your hair code. Do something. Zap yourself up a little bit.
You can build yourself to a point where you actually don't give a damn. And if somebody happens to come to you,
and that's liberating. Embrace that.
Exactly.
Do you like this letter to give away the pair of limited edition sunnies, courtesy of Elon Trees? Would they do over there? We do over here.
Yes.
Universal. Okay, it's come out. Nikki of Liverpool in New South Wales, the other end of the country, coming out a limited pair of Aussie Optical. There we go, and we've got to go. How much time do we have, Adam? Adam's given us the one. Karalee, we've got to go.
Thank you. Oh, thank you for having me again.
Terrific to have you 2 weeks in a row.
Thank you.
All right, we'll look forward to having you back.
That'd be great.
Mon?
Sensational. I like the lady panel.
Yes, yes. Girl power.
So do I.
We can be like Spice Girls.
We'll do this more often.
Spicing it up, sugar and spice.
Yeah,
sweet
you're
and
all
sour.
singing to take the show out tonight. That's a little surprise we've got coming in.
You don't need boys.
Oh,
no, don't say that, because
You
Gary,
don't
we
need
need
boys.
Gary.
Yeah, Gary, you're
We need Gary.
Man. I said
Okay.
I don't need flattery. Thank you, ladies. Very nice to have you here. Where do we find you dancing?
I'm at John 21st. I'm teaching students at the moment, but Mustang Bar Tuesday nights.
Mustang Bar. What do you do there? Teach dance?
No, salsa.
Salsa dancing. Shall we go, Suzie?
Yes, let's go.
Good to have you, hon. We've got to disappear. Thank all of our beautiful panellists. Thanks to our wonderful crew, and thanks for having us at home tonight, Australia. Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
See you next week.
See you later.
See you later.